was sitting watching Lady Bird with my girlfriend, and I thought to myself, where are all the black coming of age shows and that aren't just about them being black? The first time I saw something even remotely close to what I'm talking about is Issa Rae's Awkward Black Girl series, which is one of my favorite things to watch. It was like one of the first black female characters that I could actually relate to, but she was straight and old to me at the time. I know that that's not old now, but to me at the time, as like a 13-year-old girl, 25 was old. I'd never worked in an office or had annoying coworkers or a boyfriend. Enter me. My name is Sonia Gibbs, and I'm going to tell you about my concept for a black, queer, coming-of-age show. If I had to describe myself, I'd say that I'm a woman, I'm from Ohio, I'm black, I'm queer, I'm a dork, and I'm an avid taco lover. My biggest inspiration thus far has been my own life, but I never saw it on the screen, so I figured I was the only one going through these things. But it turns out there's actually lots of people out there who are just like me who need a show like this. This is our story. This is for all the people who don't fit in to expectations or boxes or traditions. This one's for us. I present to you The Basement. In a small town in flyover USA, Tia doesn't really fit in at all. She talks like a girl and walks like a girl, but there's something about her that's just different. She doesn't wear the same clothes as everybody else, and she never goes to the football games like everybody else, and instead she likes to dye her hair and practice records on her guitar in her room by herself all day. She watches shows that only lasted for one season and only wears ironic t-shirts. It kind of seems like her whole life is one big ironic joke. But she's a weirdo at school and at home, everywhere. Until one day, she meets a girl who's a little more like her, who would quickly become her best friend. And her name is Courtney. She introduces her to a scene that's in the underbelly of society. They exist in the shadows, in the basement. The basement punks. This is a colorful world that exists in the middle of gray suburbia, where weirdos reign supreme. Actually, here, the weirder you are, the better. Bands come through every single weekend and turn this basement in the middle of suburbia into an insane concert series. But not everything is peachy down here in this scene. There's a lot of drugs, and Courtney gets caught up in them. Bad. She starts taking pills and she gets addicted. They see each other less and less over time, and only when they get on stage to perform together in the basement. Courtney's the lead singer of the band and Tia is the lead guitarist. But over time, she becomes less and less herself, and one day Courtney gets aggressive with Tia and actually robs her at gunpoint. And then the next time Tia sees her after that, Courtney is in a casket. But at this point, her parents think that she's off the hinges. They think she's crazy, and they basically ban her from ever going to the basement again. Which, if you've ever been a teenager, this is exactly why Tia has to go back. So she does go back, and she sees the other band members there. They have a couple beers, and they mourn together, and they talk. And she hesitantly gets on stage. Tia takes the mic in place of her friend, and before she can even count the band off, she bursts into tears, and the crowd starts booing and throwing whatever they can on stage at her. And this is a punk crowd, remember? So they're not shy. She keeps crying and trying to explain her grief through the tears, but then something strange begins to happen. The mixture of grief plus the crowd's reaction turn her tears into red hot anger. She starts screaming, exploding on stage. She's saying words, but they're coming out so fast and so hard that no one can make out what she's even saying. The band takes it as a cue and starts playing behind her angry swears, and the crowd starts going crazy. They start bobbing and thrashing with her. By the end of the first song, the crowd is on fire. They love her, and they start cheering and chanting, "One more, one more, one more, one more." And she does another angry, therapeutic tirade. It feels amazing letting her emotions out in the open for everybody to see. And nothing has ever felt better to her at this point. The band comes back weekend after weekend, and they begin to be known as the Crybaby Punks. Not after long, people start coming from other states just to see them play, and they outgrow the basement in no time. After they record a demo, they go on tour and they start getting noticed by A&Rs at record labels. They get signed, and now T is a star. And every single set she does, before every single show, she dedicates it to her friend Courtney. Alright, so a big inspiration for this story was actually the movie Suburbia, which is one of my favorite movies of all time, I think. And also, just, I love music. I love punk music. I love all types of music, but punk has a really special place in my heart because of just my own experiences with the underground punk scene here in Cincinnati that I miss so much. It was my first time not feeling like a weirdo, and my outsiderness got turned on its head, and I became cool like magic. It was crazy.